Who is like the marketing.
The marketing funnel king.
Yeah.
So it's this really cool conversation they had, and we're going to break it down.
It's sort of like a reaction video to this conversation.
Yeah, like a meta reaction video.
Like
this guy's talking about YouTube.
But it's not your typical how to grow on YouTube advice.
Yeah.
They're giving a lot of counterintuitive advice.
Yeah, one of the things that really stood out to me was how Ali Abdaal talks about the importance of attracting the right viewers.
Yeah, not just like chasing views.
Not just chasing numbers.
Yeah.
And he actually has a really interesting point here because he says this actually led to him increasing his revenue for his online courses.
So how can someone apply that then, like attracting the right viewers?
Yeah, well, I think the key is to really define who your target audience is.
Yeah.
And Ali gives a really good example of this.
What's that?
He used to target students with general productivity advice.
Okay.
But then he shifted his focus to more established entrepreneurs, and that's when he saw a big jump in his revenue.
Interesting, because his content is more tailored to them.
Exactly. He's not just trying to appeal to everyone. He's really focusing on creating content that is valuable to a specific group of people.
And that's who will actually buy his courses or buy his products.
Exactly. And it really ties into this whole idea of creating evergreen content.
Yeah, what is evergreen content?
So evergreen content is basically content that is designed to be valuable for years to come.
Okay, so it's not tied to a specific trend.
Exactly. It's timeless advice that people will always be searching for.
So like how to be more productive.
Yeah, or how to build a business, or how to manage your finances.
I see.
It's the kind of stuff that people will always be looking for regardless of what's trending on YouTube right now.
Right.
And Ali Abdaal is a master of creating evergreen content.
Why is evergreen content so important?
Well, for one thing, it helps you build a loyal audience.
Okay.
Because people know that they can come to your channel and find valuable information that is always relevant.
Right.
It also takes the pressure off of you to constantly chase trends.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about creating content that's going to go viral today and then be forgotten tomorrow.
Right.
You can focus on creating content that has a long shelf life.
I see. So how does Ali come up with these ideas for evergreen content?
Well, he actually has a pretty cool process for brainstorming.
What is it?
He calls it his 5-level system for content creation. And it's really interesting.
Tell me more.
So at level 1, he basically just takes a title from his team and runs with it.
Okay.
Like they'll give him a title like how to be more productive, and he'll just start talking.
I see.
At level 2, he gets a little bit more structured.
Okay.
He'll come up with a few bullet points to guide his discussion.
Got it.
Level 3 is where he starts to do some research.
Okay.
He'll read articles, watch videos, and talk to experts to get a deeper understanding of the topic.
So it's more in depth.
Exactly. And then level 4 is where he starts to repurpose content.
Like from other sources.
Exactly.
Okay.
He'll take content from his podcasts or from his blog posts and turn it into videos.
I see.
And then finally at level 5, he goes full-on scripted.
So that's the most structured.
Yeah, he'll write out a full script
Yeah.
and film the video like a mini documentary.
Wow. That's a pretty comprehensive system.
Yeah, and it allows him to create a lot of different types of content.
Yeah.
But here's the really cool thing.
What?
He often aims to create content for viewers who might discover his channel 3 years from now.
Oh, what do you mean?
So instead of thinking about what his current audience wants to see,
Yeah.
he's thinking about what people will be searching for in the future.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a really forward-thinking approach to content creation.
It is.
And it really frees him from the pressure of chasing trends.
Right, because trends are constantly changing.
Exactly.
So he's kind of ahead of the curve.
Yeah, he's playing the long game.
I like.
And speaking of playing the long game, another thing that Ali and Russell both emphasize is the importance of optimizing for enjoyment.
Enjoyment.
Yeah, they both talk about how important it is to actually enjoy the process of creating content.
Makes sense.
Because if you're not enjoying it, it's going to show in your videos.
Yeah, and you're going to burn out.
Exactly.
So how do you optimize for enjoyment?
Well, Ali has these pre-filming affirmations that he reads to himself before every video.
What are they?
And they're all about serving the individual viewer and not chasing metrics or ego.
That's a good reminder.
Yeah, it's like a little pep talk to remind himself why he's doing this in the first place.
So it's not about the views or the subscribers.
Exactly. It's about making a positive impact on people's lives.
I like that.
And it really ties into this whole idea of finding your purpose.
Purpose.
Yeah, like what's the point of all of this?
That's the point of creating content.
Exactly.
Why are we doing this?
Because if you're not clear on your purpose, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and the metrics.
Right, you lose sight of why you started.
Exactly. And that can lead to burnout and frustration.
So what is Ali's purpose?
Well, he talks about how he wants to be a good father, a good husband, and an inspirational teacher.
Those are great goals.
Yeah, and they're all things that he can achieve through his work on YouTube.
So it's not just about making money or getting famous.
No, it's about something much deeper than that.
It's about making a difference in the world.
Exactly.
That's inspiring.
Yeah, it is, and it really makes you think about your own purpose and what you want to achieve with your life.
Yeah, it does.
And I think that's a good place to wrap up this part of our deep dive.
All right, so next time we'll talk about the other things Ollie and Russell discussed.
Yeah, we'll dig into their strategies for creating content, building an audience, and monetizing their channels.
That's good.
So stay tuned for that.
So last time we were talking about purpose and enjoyment and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we were really getting into the philosophical side of YouTube.
Exactly. But if I bring it back down to earth a bit and talk about Ollie's actual journey on YouTube.
Yeah, because he didn't just become a YouTube star overnight.
Right. He had to put in the work and figure things out along the way.
And it's actually really inspiring to hear him talk about his early struggles, because it shows that even the most successful creators had to start somewhere.
Exactly. Everyone starts at zero.
And Ollie's story is a perfect example of that.
So tell me about it. Like, how did he get started?
Well, he actually had this idea for a YouTube channel years before he actually launched it.
Really?
Yeah, he gave a talk at his university about effective study strategies, and it went viral.
Wow. So he was kind of a viral sensation before he even started on YouTube.
Exactly. And it gave him the confidence to know that he had something valuable to share.
That's cool.
So when he finally decided to start his YouTube channel, he already had this proven concept.
That's smart.
Yeah, he basically took that talk and turned it into his first YouTube video.
And did it take off?
Well, it wasn't an instant hit or anything, but it did well enough to encourage him to keep going.
I see. So what happened next?
Well, he started experimenting with different types of content.
Okay.
You tried making music videos, you tried vlogging, even tried doing comedy sketches.
Wow. So he was really trying to find his niche.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
And did any of that stuff work?
Not really. He laughs about it now, but at the time, it was pretty frustrating.
I bet, because you're putting all this effort into it and you're not seeing the results.
Exactly, and it's easy to get discouraged when that happens.
It is.
But Ollie didn't give up.
Good for him.
He kept experimenting and he kept learning, and eventually he found his groove.
And that was productivity.
Exactly. He started focusing on creating videos about productivity study tips and time management.
And that's when his channel really started to grow.
Exactly. He found his audience, and he started creating content that they were really resonating with.
So it's all about finding that sweet spot.
Yeah, finding the intersection between what you're passionate about, what you're good at, and what people are actually searching for.
I like that.
And once Ollie found that sweet spot, his channel exploded.
So what were some of the key things he did to grow his channel?
Well, one thing he did was collaborate with other YouTubers.
Makes sense.
Yeah, he reached out to bigger YouTubers in his niche and asked if they would be interested in doing a collab.
And did they say yes?
Yeah, he actually got a few big collabs, which really helped to boost his visibility.
Says you're tapping into their audience.
Exactly.
That's smart.
And then he also released what he called his banger video.
What's a banger video?
It's basically a video that is so good that it goes viral and attracts a ton of new viewers.
Oh, okay.
And for Ollie, his banger video was a video about how to study for exams effectively.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's basically a rehash of that talk he gave back in uni.
The one that went viral.
Exactly. He took a concept that had already proven successful and he adapted it to YouTube.
Smart.
And it worked like a charm.
His channel took off.
Yeah, that video got millions of views, and it really helped to establish him as an authority on productivity.
I see. So he was strategic about his content creation.
Very strategic.
Okay, so let's talk about his process, because I'm curious how he actually creates all of this content.
Yeah, so Ollie films once a week, but he publishes twice a week.
Wow, so he's really efficient.
Yeah, he's a master of batching his content creation.
So he films multiple videos in one day.
Exactly. And then he edits them and releases them throughout the week.
That's smart.
And to come up with ideas for his videos, he uses that 5-level system that we talked about earlier.
Right, the one with the different levels of scripting.
Exactly.
So remind me how that works again.
Yeah, so level 1 is just taking a title and running with it. Level 2 is having a few bullet points. Level 3 is doing some research. Level 4 is repurposing content. And level 5 is going full-on scripted.
Okay, I remember.
And interestingly enough, his most popular videos tend to be those level 2 videos.
Those are really the ones with just a few bullet points.
Yeah, it seems like that raw, unscripted energy really resonates with viewers.
It makes sense because it feels more authentic.
Exactly. And it shows that you don't always need a perfectly polished script to create a great video.
Right. Sometimes the best content comes from just being yourself and sharing your thoughts and ideas.
And that's something that Ollie's really good at.
Yeah, he comes across as very genuine and relatable in his videos.
Exactly. And I think that's a big part of his appeal.
It is.
So yeah, Ollie has really figured out the formula for creating engaging and informative YouTube content.
And he's not afraid to experiment and try new things.
Exactly. He's always looking for ways to improve his content and reach a wider audience.
So what else is he doing to grow his channel?
Well, he's actually been experimenting with shorter videos lately.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's realized that not everyone has the time to watch a 25-minute video.
Makes sense.
So he's been creating more YouTube shorts, which are basically short-form videos that are less than 60 seconds long. And he's also been repurposing those shorts for other platforms like Instagram and TikTok.
Smart move, because you can reach a wider audience that way.
Exactly.
So he's really thinking about how to maximize his reach.
Yeah, and it's working because his channel is still growing rapidly.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and it's all because he's staying true to his values and his vision.
Which is to be a good father, a good husband, and an inspirational teacher.
Exactly. And he's using YouTube as a platform to
Yeah.
achieve those goals.
That's inspiring.
It is, and it really makes you think about what you can achieve with your own platform.
It does.
So yeah, Ollie's story is a great example of how to build a successful YouTube channel while staying true to yourself.
I agree.
And I think there's a lot that we can learn from him.
Definitely.
Okay, so we've talked about Ollie's YouTube journey, his strategies, his philosophy.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
But there's one more thing I want to touch on before we wrap up.
What's that?
Legacy.
Legacy.
Yeah, like what kind of impact do we want to leave on the world?
It's a big question.
It is, and it's something that both Ali and Russell think about a lot.
Makes sense. They're both very successful in their respective fields.
Exactly. And they've both built these incredible platforms that reach millions of people.
So it's natural for them to think about what they want to leave behind.
Exactly. And I think it's something that we should all be thinking about.
Yeah, legacy is important.
It is, and it's not just about fame or fortune.
Right. It's about making a positive impact on the world.
Exactly. And both Ali and Russell have really interesting perspectives on this.
So what are their perspectives?
Well, Russell talked about how he views entrepreneurship as an art form.
An art form.
Yeah, he's obsessed with funnels.
Funnels.
Yeah, like marketing funnels.
Okay.
And he spent years studying them, dissecting them, and ultimately turning that knowledge into art.
Interesting. So he sees his work as a form of creative expression.
Exactly. And he wants to leave behind a body of work that is both valuable and beautiful.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's not just about his own legacy.
What do you mean?
He also talked about how he bought his mentor's company.
Dan Kennedy.
Yeah, to help preserve and extend his legacy.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and he's also collecting rare books and manuscripts.
Really?
Yeah, he sees them as artifacts of knowledge and inspiration.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and he wants to make sure that these valuable insights are passed on to future generations.
I love that.
Yeah, it's really inspiring.
It is.
And then Ali talked about the importance of legacy from a different angle.
What was his perspective?
Well, he talked about the impact of books
Okay.
and how they have the power to change lives long after the author's gone.
That's true.
Yeah, he specifically mentioned The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss
Classic.
and Show Your Work by Austin Kleon.
Another great book.
And he talked about how those books had a profound impact on his own life.
I see.
And he wants to create that same kind of impact with his own writing.
So he wants to write books that will inspire people.
Exactly.
That's a great goal.
Yeah, and he's not just talking about writing self-help books.
What else is he thinking about?
He's also thinking about applying the principles of productivity to other areas of life,
Like what?
like relationships.
Relationships.
Yeah, he talked about how he and his fiance use a Notion database to help manage their relationship.
Really, a Notion database for their relationship?
Yeah, it sounds kind of weird, but it actually makes a lot of sense.
Oh, so
Well, they have templates for check-ins and other important conversations.
interesting.
Yeah, and it helps them to stay organized and communicate more effectively.
So it's like a system for their relationship.
Exactly, and it seems to be working really well for them.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it just shows that you can apply the principles of productivity to any area of your life.
Oh, I like that.
And I think it's a really important reminder that success isn't just about work.
Right. It's about all aspects of your life.
Exactly, and it's about finding balance and creating a life that is both fulfilling and meaningful.
I agree.
And that brings us back to the idea of legacy.
Yeah. How do we want to be remembered?
Exactly what kind of impact do we want to have on the world?
It's a question worth pondering.
It is, and I think Ali and Russell have given us a lot to think about.
They have.
And I hope that this deep dive has inspired you to think about your own legacy
Me too.
and to start taking steps to create the impact that you want to have on the world.
That's a great takeaway.
Yeah. And remember, enjoyment is efficiency.
Always.
So have fun with it.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time.